he's like geeked about and understood. Is like me personally, I don't know how you feel, and you can fill in the blank, where like sometimes I feel like our prison system really doesn't prepare people for what's life outside of my voice. Sorry.
Yeah.
My voice. Sorry, guys. It doesn't prepare folks for what's life afterwards. And I hear a lot of success stories like yours where you had to understand and pull your own self up from the bootstraps, and like you had this like mental health awakening. So I just want to, if you could be like as honest as you can be when it comes to the mental health aspect of being and dealing with the system, how do you feel it prepared you, or how did you prepare yourself for life after?
Man, honestly, actually, it's crazy. I met one of my guys in there. His name is Martin. Martin Lockett. He's Arthur. When you look at Martin, you'd be like, bro, you do not belong here. And that's what I used to do every day when I would walk in that deer room. I would see him and I'd be like, you don't belong here. Yeah. He was kind of like a mentor to me. Like, I was like, he writes books. He's always minding his own business. You know what I mean? He's in college classes. He's at the library. He's doing something productive all the time. And I'm like, yo, we're in prison. He's doing this. And I'm like, and then you look over to the other side and you see other people same age as you, same age as him, younger, older. They're confused or lost. Like, there's no guidance at all. And so then, like, I started picking his brain. I'd ask him questions. I was like, yo, I want to write a book. He was like, for real? He giving me tips, telling me. I grabbed a journal one day and I sat down. I started writing. And then I was like, man, let me pause this book real quick. I need to come up with a plan for when I get out, And I was like, that's when it all started. I was just like, I started really locking in. I was like, I need to come up with a plan. I met this dude. He was a business owner, owned multiple businesses, crazy amount of businesses. He's telling me stuff. My pops owned businesses and stuff growing up. So I always wanted to like the entrepreneur route. And I was like, I seen my dad work hard and trying to do what he did. And I was like, man, I could do the same thing, but I think I could do it better. So that was my goal. And so with the guys that I like, would talk to and stuff and pick up on game, and like the business owner dude, he taught me how to write my first business plan. And really? So from there, he taught me how to write my first business plan.
In prison. Your first, whoa!
I'm telling you, I wish I would have brought my notebooks with me. I sent you some pictures of it, but I got out with notebooks, composition notebooks, where I have business plans, and the truck business. I had a business plan for that.
Damn.
Before I got out, but it was with tow trucks. Instead of like semis and box trucks.
Yeah.
I had, I wrote a business plan. I wanted to own a real estate firm, and I started reading books after books, and I was just, I get on the phone like, hey, order me this book off of Amazon. And I'm just reading, and I'm just studying, I'm just writing stuff down. I'm really just, I'm trying to learn the financial, like, part of things, like how finance work, how to operate a business. I started writing I wrote a business plan for a barbershop. I did one for like a restaurant. I had like a bunch of ideas, you know what I mean?
The reason why I at least wanted to open up and start talking about this at the beginning, number one, to get out of the way and talk about it, because there's so many other beautiful things that have happened and you've done in your life, but to really zero in on, we as a society, we really suck at when people make mistakes, like it's the scarlet letter.
Yeah.
And I believe you really just said like a gem, because in my opinion, I feel like that self-awakening was self-built in a place where you're supposed to be rehabilitated, a place where you're supposed to do the things where I feel like it's just sometimes they're just like, well, we'll see what happens, rather than how can we make sure you got what you need? How can we make sure you don't feel invisible? And the wherewithal that you had, because, and I'm butchering, you just said it and I feel so bad because you said that person said that you're not supposed to be here. You like, you don't belong. And I'm so glad you have heard those words because.
No, I said that to Martin.
Oh, you said them to Martin. Okay.
I said that to Martin because I was like, you don't belong here. But I've had like old heads, like they'll tell me like, you know, like you don't belong here, you know, like you don't, and you know, it's crazy. Like I've seen a lot of them since I've been out now. Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of them. I had 2 of them actually come to my coffee shop about a month ago, 2 months ago. They came after the grand opening. They was, you know, they came, kicked it, they bought drinks. One of them brought his daughter there. You know, one of them, he's running for office now, and one of my other guys, he's doing community work. You know, definitely good to see them, especially down 20, 25, 30 years in the system. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen a lot of people like get out and like what you were saying, like not change, you know, like kind of like, you know, some people be fried from all that time. And, you know, I've seen people crash out, and some people just like your mindset mentally, you got to be so strong mentally to like hold, like going through that and experiencing that and spend, you know what I mean? At times you're in a cell for 23 hours a day. You know what I mean? You're out for 45 minutes. Like, you know, mentally, you got to have like a strong mindset to bounce back from that and shake that and get back into society and like be a positive impact to people, you know, and like give people a light. You know what I mean? Like when I was in there, you know, I lost contact with a lot of people, you know, people that I had real love for, like, you know, like it was a point in time I used to tell my mom, like, you know, I'll call her once a week. I'd be like, don't worry about me, you know, like I was just talking to my little brother the other day about this. He was saying that he was like, yeah, man, when I remember when you was gone, I was in elementary school because I left when he was in like 2nd grade and I got out when he was in high school. And he was like, yeah, I remember mom was telling me you was in college in Seattle. And I'm like, it's crazy because I remember he just messaged me the other day. He seen my location. He was like, I didn't know you was in Seattle, bro. What? You could have took me. And I was like, that's funny you say that now. You didn't even know how far Seattle was back then, you know? And so I'm like, if I was in Seattle for real, bro, like back then you should have known like it's 2 hour drive, 2 hours and a half, you know? But I'm like, I'm glad my mom didn't tell him. And he ended up eventually hearing it from kids in the neighborhood. You know, they see my mom and him at the grocery store. They be like, yo, how's MVP? Blah, blah, blah. When's he getting out? And I've seen pictures of him. He got big and, you know, stuff like that. And he's like, what are they talking about, Mom? I thought you said he was in college. And then eventually it sunk into him. But, you know, definitely, yeah. I don't even know what part.
No. I just appreciate the pure vulnerability. Yeah. Now,